African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 28th of May, 2024. Units of the North Group of Forces continue advancing to the depth of the enemy's defenses. Units of Armed Forces of Ukraine 42nd Mechanized, 57th Mechanized Infantry, 3rd Tank, and 125th Territorial Defense Brigade were hit near Petropavlovka and Lipsy, Kharkov region. 5 counterattacks of enemy assault groups were repelled close to Volchansk and Staritsa, Kharkov region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 285 Ukrainian troops, 3 armored fighting vehicles, and 6 motor vehicles. In the course of the counter-battery warfare, 2 155mm Bogdana self-propelled artillery systems, 1 155mm US-made M777 howitzer, 1 155mm French-made Caesar howitzer, 1 122mm D30 howitzer, 4 122mm Grad BM21 MLRS, and 1 Czech-made RM70 Vampire MLRS were eliminated. The West Group of Forces units captured more advantageous lines and inflicted losses on formations of Armed Forces of Ukraine 57th Mechanized, 95th Air Assault Brigades near Kupiansk, Kharkov region, and Krasny Lyman, Donetsk People's Republic. 3 counterattacks launched by assault groups of Armed Forces of Ukraine 115th Mechanized, 31st National Guard Brigades were repelled near Belagorovka and Chervenaya Dybrova, Lugansk People's Republic. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 160 Ukrainian troops, 2 infantry fighting vehicles, 7 motor vehicles, 1 155mm Bogdana self-propelled artillery system, 1 155mm US-made M777 howitzer, 1 155mm Polish-made Krab self-propelled artillery system, as well as 2 122mm D30 howitzers. The Southern Group of Forces units improved the situation along the front line, inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of Armed Forces of Ukraine 54th Mechanized, 46th Airmobile Brigades near Ivanodaryevka, Krasnogorovka, and Konstantinovka, Donetsk People's Republic. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses amounted to more than 700 Ukrainian troops, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 6 motor vehicles, 2 152mm D20 howitzers, 1 122mm D30 howitzer, and 1 105mm US-made M119 gun. The Center Group of Forces units improved the tactical situation, defeated units of Armed Forces of Ukraine 47th Mechanized, 109th Territorial Defense Brigades close to Yevgenovka, Sokol, and Karlovka, Donetsk People's Republic. 6 attacks launched by units of Armed Forces of Ukraine 23rd, 24th, 47th Mechanized, 144th Infantry, 25th Airborne Brigades were repelled close to Shumy, Okhotino, Novo-Alexandrovka, Novopokrovskoye, Solovyovo, and Umanskoye, Donetsk People's Republic. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses were up to 405 Ukrainian troops, 2 armored fighting vehicles, to include 1 Bradley, and 6 motor vehicles. In the course of the counter-battery warfare, 2 155mm US-made M777 howitzers, 2 152mm Mstabi howitzers, 1 152mm D20 howitzer, 1 122mm Vostok self-propelled artillery system, and 1 122mm D30 howitzer were eliminated. Units of the Vostok Group of Forces took more advantageous lines, as well as inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of Armed Forces of Ukraine 58th Mechanized Infantry and 128th Territorial Defense Brigades near Urozhenoye and Staromayorskoye, Donetsk People's Republic. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 165 Ukrainian troops, 4 motor vehicles, 2 US-made 155mm M777 howitzers, 2 Polish-made 155mm Crab self-propelled artillery systems, and 1 UK-made FH-70 towed howitzer. Units of the Dnepr group of forces hit manpower and hardware of the Armed Forces of Ukraine 35th Marine Brigade close to Tyajinka, Kherson region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 45 Ukrainian troops, 4 motor vehicles, and 1 122mm D-30 howitzer. Operational tactical aviation, unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian groups of forces engaged Armed Forces of Ukraine manpower and hardware clusters in 118 areas during the day. Russian air defense means have shot down 1 MiG-29 aircraft of the Ukrainian Air Force, 39 unmanned aerial vehicles, 1 US-made Adams operational tactical missile, 7 French-made Hammer guided aerial bombs, and 1 US-made Mars MLRS projectile. In total, 604 airplanes and 274 helicopters, 24,739 unmanned aerial vehicles, 524 air defense missile systems, 16,182 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,322 combat vehicles equipped with MLRS, 9,914 field artillery cannons and mortars, as well as 22,060 units of special military equipment have been destroyed during the special military operation. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.